Hello, lovely ladies. I'm so glad to be here. Today we'll talk everything you ever want to know about barrel jeans. How to pick them, which ones you want to buy, how to style them, and even about colors. Now, I see in a lot of videos, people, when they talk about colors, they just say, oh yes, these colors go together, or if you want to look stylish, wear these colors. But really, you can't talk about colors without also talking about fit and proportions. So we'll put all of these things together in one video so you don't have to look any further. So let's get started. So the very first thing you want to see before you buy a pair of barrel jeans is you want the pants to fit snugly at the waist and at least the top part of your hips. Now it's true that barrel pants have their own kind of more looser sculpted shape that comes out. Nevertheless, they still need to fit snug at the waist and at least the top part of the hips. They don't need to fit all the way down to the end of the hips because yes, that'll look more like bootcut jeans or something else. But for barrel jeans, at least at the top portion of the hips, you want them to fit snug. Otherwise, you'll see here a picture of jeans that are not very snugly fit at the waist, and it ends up looking a little more sloppy, and you end up not seeing the barrel jeans or the shape of the barrel jeans fully. So that's the first thing you want to look out for. Now, the second thing you want to look out for is you want to be able to see the full entire shape of the barrel jeans. All of that needs to be visible. What does that mean? That means that you need to get the right length, either ankle length, or if they're full length, just make sure the entire shape is visible like you see it in the pictures here. Next to that, you'll also see pictures of jeans that are a little too long or you can't see the full shape of the barrel jeans. What happens is if the jeans pull at the end, if they pull at your feet, you don't see the full shape, and as a result they end up looking different, or it could look sloppy and so on. I mean, if you're trying to go for the baggy look, that's different, but if you want to get that barrel effect, you want the full shape to be visible, and what that means is you have to pick the right length. Now, I'll put a link down below. I have a video on things that you can alter and things that you cannot alter easily. And in that, I had said the very first thing is, you have no excuse for saying you don't want to buy a pair of jeans because the length doesn't fit. You can so easily alter them. Now, that's true for pretty much most pair of jeans, except I'd also mentioned if they have a very special shape to it. Guess what? One of those special shapes is the barrel jean, and if the length doesn't fit, it is a lot harder to alter. And what happens is if you chop off the ends, you need to make sure you still get the barrel effect, and that's a lot harder to do. So yes, this is one of those few cases in jeans where you need to make sure the length is correct. A lot of times ankle length is best because that way you get to see the full shape and the rest of the leg. If you do go for a pair of jeans that are slightly longer, then you end up needing to wear heels like I did in the previous video where I talked about different types of barrel jeans. You will end up needing to wear a couple inches of heels, and then as long as you see the full shape, you're good to go. The other aspect of seeing the full shape of the barrel jeans also mean that you need to tuck it in at the waist, a little bit at least a front tuck. And for those of you saying, oh no, I don't really want to tuck or have belly issues, guess what? I have belly issues too. I don't have a flat stomach, but this front tuck does wonders. When you put a little bit of your top or sweater inside the jean and then you kind of let the rest fall, people who look at you, they can't tell, are those rolls of fat or it's just the fabric? Most likely it just looks like fabric gently draping around your waist, and it looks great. So that's something to remember. So it's actually, if you are conscious about your tummy area, front tuck is actually a very good thing. And in the case of barrel jeans, do at least tuck in, if not all the way around, at least do a front tuck, so that way you get to see the full jeans, the full shape, and get the full effect. Now, regarding how pronounced of a barrel shape the jean has, that is really your personal preference. Some jeans, like you can see, they have a much more refined, slim shape. Other jeans, like the Citizens of Humanity's horseshoe jeans, or even the one that I'm currently wearing. I didn't show this one in my previous video, the best of the barrel jeans, mainly because this hadn't arrived yet. But this jean is from the brand Frame, and this is called the balloon jeans. This also has a little bit of that exaggerated balloon shape. As you can see, I haven't decided whether or not I want to keep this. I'll probably keep it, but this just arrived and I wanted to show it to you. So yeah, it can have either a more pronounced shape or a slight slim barrel and a more refined shape. And that is really your personal preference, whichever way you want to go. Now let's talk about styling your barrel jean now that you found your perfect barrel jean. So let's start with the top. Now obviously the bottom has a lot of volume, has a lot of structure, shape. So to balance that volume, typically what people say is you want a more fitted top. But fitted doesn't mean skin tight. Fitted just means it shouldn't be oversized, it should fit closer to your body and sort of not have a lot of volume to it. That's all it means. It doesn't necessarily mean skin tight, though if you want to have a much more fitted top, that's just fine too. Today what I've worn is just this cardigan. It's not very fitted, at the same time it's not oversized either. It's somewhat fitted and that works just great. You can do tops, t-shirts, and even blouses. As you can see here, you have a lot of options for what you can wear at the top. One thing to note is you typically want something that's more fitted. If you want to go for something a little more flowy, that's possible too, but as long as it is something a little more sheer and flowy and thin, as I showed you here in the other video as well, that also works because the fabric flows with you, it has movement, you can see the shape within, and sort of that also works. Overall, it just seems to work. So that is all there is to it. Just find something that is somewhat fitted and you should be good to go. You can also wear a top like this and not necessarily just a sweater or a t-shirt. And of course, yes, this I haven't tucked this in because it's not meant to be tucked in, and this also works because there is a tie at the waist and that sort of still defines the waist and it doesn't cover much of the jeans, so it all makes it work. Another thing I wanted to tell you is in all these sort of peplum kind of tops, what I do is when you have a tie right here, I make sure that all the gathers are in the front and in the back. I don't let the gathers come in the side. I just pull them out of the side and make it all come in the front or the back. And the reason is, at least on me, it doesn't make my waist look too good if there are gathers here on the side. So I just pull them onto the front and the back, and that might be something that might work for you as well. Next, let's talk footwear. I personally feel that pumps, sandals, something that's a little more open and with a little bit of heel. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of heel. Even a little bit of heel looks great with barrel jeans. Having said that, in the colder months, you may not always be able to wear pumps or sandals. You can definitely wear them with boots. The key to note here is just make sure the boots are more slim. They should have a more slim profile and not very chunky and stick out a lot. Same thing with sneakers. If you do want to wear them with sneakers, make sure they have a slim profile. So these kind of slim ankle boots, they work great. And yeah, you have many different options and styles to pick from within those slim ankle boots. They could be more like on the pointier side or a little bit of a square around it too. All of those work great with barrel jeans. I'd also promised you we'd talk about colors and put it all together. So let's do that. Now, when it comes to shoes, nude shoes are a very safe choice. Nude colored shoes are a very safe choice if you're trying to figure out what might work, what might not work. You really can't go wrong with those kinds of shoes, whether it's in pumps like these or even if it's a boot. It sort of goes with all the different styles and colors of the denim or pants that you might wear. If you're wearing more darker colored jeans or like gray jeans that I've shown here, then you can also balance that kind of that washed out gray look with a nice pair of crisp black boots, ankle boots, that kind of makes it feel a little more put together and not completely casual. Same with the tops. If your jeans has a very washed out color or is distressed, then you want to balance that with a much saturated color on the top, like I'm showing you here. I'm wearing this more saturated green top with the slightly kind of washed out gray jeans. So as long as you wear any kind of saturated color that looks good near your face, you're good to go. The key to wearing saturated colors is just make sure it looks good on you. And also the key to wearing colors is a lot of times I know people say, oh, you have a cool complexion or you have a warm complexion and you shouldn't wear these colors or those colors. But the key is it's only the colors near your face that matters. The colors further away from your body, literally they can be, they can be anything. So just make sure the color near your face, that suits you. And as long as you do that, even if you have a slightly washed out color for your denim, you balance that with a saturated color and instantly you look put together. If you're wearing something like blue denim, like I'm wearing right now, you have a lot many more options, pretty much whatever you'd wear with your blue jeans. Here it's kind of a light pink top. You can also do tonal, like a light blue cardigan, sweater, or a top. So you have a lot more options. When you're wearing colored jeans like the ones I'm showing you here, a good safe option is something in the white or cream beige kind of family. So as long as you wear some white or any of the close cousins, neutral colors, you're usually good to go and you can't go wrong with that. Finally, let's talk handbags. Typically, especially if you're petite like me, I'm just under 5'4", something small and structured, I find that to work the best. Having said that, you may not always be able to get away with a small bag. Maybe you have a lot of things to carry. Just make sure even if the bag is larger, try to keep it structured. That kind of balances the balloon sort of shape that the jeans may have a structured handbag, and that looks a lot better. And this is what I found. As for the colors, in general, they say try not to have more than 3 different colors and then you'll look a lot more put together. And in this case, I have the blue denim, I have the pink sweater, and I have this sort of cream purse. My pumps are nude in color, so it sort of blends in a little bit with the color of my feet. So it sort of works together and it's not very far from the color of the purse as well. So that is pretty much all there is to it. That's the mystery of the colors along with the fit and proportion. Just make sure you don't have too many colors going on in there. Unless, of course, if you have like a printed top or maybe a sweater, just make sure your jeans or your boots and your purse all they are somewhere reflected in that printed top or printed sweater. So as long as you pick colors off that printed top or sweater, you should be good to go and then it should still look cohesive. So there you have it. That's all there is to barrel jeans. So now you know all about how to pick them, how to find the right jean, how to style them, and how to make even all the colors go together. Hope you have fun with it. Do let me know how you like the video. Hope you have a lot of fun wearing the barrel jeans, and I'll see you next time.